coverage of the summit here in Vietnam coincided with a pilgrimage by U.S. service members. Most who served in Vietnam never went back. Some have no interest. For others, returning here is a must, a reckoning of wounds that opened and never fully healed.
Programs, get your programs. You can't tell the players without a program.
52 U.S. veterans from Wisconsin.
Now, on your right side is the U.S. consulate. This place used to be the U.S. Embassy before 1975.
Back in Vietnam for the first time.
Today we have the city tour around Saigon.
This tour is far different than the last.
Maybe some of you remember the picture of the tank on the last day of the Vietnam War.
It began with a war finished at the presidential palace in Ho Chi Minh City, or as many still call it, Saigon.
The bulletin has just come in from Saigon. The war is over. South Vietnam's new president, Duong Van Big Minh, has announced an unconditional surrender to the Viet Cong.
What does it mean to be here where it all ended?
It hurts.
Marine Sergeant Wayne Perrett served 3 tours.
I was born and raised on a farm. I never had anybody shoot at me until I got here, when I got to Vietnam.
What the hell does that do to a 19-year-old kid?
A 19-year-old kid shouldn't have been here. Back then, fighting a war. What do I know about war back then at 19?
This is stressful, especially when you get close to the place you served, and we want to make sure we take all that stress out. If you're feeling emotional, you want to walk off with somebody, grab one of us.
Try to remove all the stress you want. There are demons that endure.
We got into a fight. It was up in the DMZ, and there was a young man he was dead. And I went through his pockets, and he had a picture of his wife and his children. That hit home. Boy, did it ever. He was no different than I was. He had a family. It's hard to live a life. And when you see this stuff every night, it's hard to sleep.
Nightmares.
Oh, yes. Big time. And it helps me a lot of times just to talk about Vietnam. Like I said, it'll tear me up, but it gets here out of my chest, gets it out. And I get rid of some of that stuff.
For Wayne Perrett and thousands of others, time goes by, it doesn't go away.
My nightmares aren't as pronounced as they were when I first got out, but I still get them.
Does this trip here help take some away?
I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
We want to thank the Old Glory Honor Flight Group for letting us spend time with these remarkable men here.